Don't know where you are, but where I am. It's early. The world's still stretching. The coffee's hot. And the signals are already coming in. Let's take a look before the day starts making demands. This is Signal Check with Adrian North. Monday morning. The inbox is quiet. The feeds haven't exploded yet. But somewhere, in a server log in the commit history, in a race crew van at sunrise, things are already moving. Coffee's on. Let's get oriented before the noise starts. There's a hacker who embarrassed two of the world's most invasive spyware companies. Twice. And we still don't know who they are. They go by Phineas Fisher. They've become something like a ghost story in security circles. The hacktivist who breached hacking team in 2015 and Finn Fisher a year later, dumping hundreds of gigabytes of internal files into the public domain. Both companies sold surveillance tools to governments. Some of those governments used them on journalists and activists. Phineas Fisher didn't just break in. They wrote detailed how-to guides explaining exactly how they did it, then vanished. No arrest. No reveal. No slip-up. A decade later, still nothing. And here's the thing. They might be the most prolific political hacker to have never been caught. That kind of operational security, that kind of discipline, it's almost unheard of. Most hackers leave breadcrumbs. Phineas Fisher left manifestos and walked away clean. Now, this is unsettling. A threat actor just used an open-source AI agent to automate a cyber attack. In full autonomous mode, they targeted Thailand's Ministry of Finance. And they used something called Hermes, an AI agent framework, in what the developers call YOLO mode. That's unattended operation. No human in the loop. The AI decides what to do next, executes, adapts, post-exploitation. That's the phase after you've already broken in. Normally, a human attacker pokes around manually, looks for credentials, moves laterally. This time, they just let the AI loose. It's not clear how much damage was done or whether this was a proof of concept. But the implications are pretty stark. We've been talking about AI-assisted hacking for a while. This might be one of the first confirmed cases of AI-automated hacking in the wild, and it worked. GitHub and PyPI just rolled out a clever new defense against supply chain attacks. It's time-based. Here's the idea. A lot of software supply chain attacks work by sneaking malicious code into a popular open-source package. You compromise the developer's account, push an update, and suddenly thousands of projects are pulling in your backdoor. GitHub's Dependabot now includes a feature that lets you delay automatic updates. You can say, don't pull a new version of this dependency until it's been public for, say, 72 hours. That window gives security researchers time to spot something weird before it propagates everywhere. It's simple. It's not foolproof. But it buys time and insecurity. Time is often the difference between catching an attack early and discovering it 6 months later in production. Okay, totally different energy here. A 64-year-old mom and her son just made history at the Hard Rock 100. Susan Henry and her son David both got into the same year's race, one of the toughest ultramarathons in the world. 100 miles to Colorado's San Juan Mountains. Elevation gain that would make most people quit at mile 10. They usually pace and crew for each other. This time they were both running. Susan called it a double blessing, double curse kind of thing. They finished together. At 64 and change, Susan became one of the oldest women to complete Hard Rock. And they did it in the same year, the same race, the same impossible 100 miles. Sometimes the signal isn't a breach or a vulnerability. Sometimes it's just people doing something that seemed impossible until they did it. But to the threat landscape, hackers are hijacking hotel Wi-Fi DNS settings to steal Microsoft 365 credentials. Here's how it works. You're at a conference, a hotel, somewhere with shared Wi-Fi. The attackers compromised the network's DNS configuration. That's the system that translates domain names into addresses. So when you type in your company's login page, the DNS sends you to a fake version instead. It looks identical. You enter your username and password, and it's gone. Hotels and conference centers are soft targets. Their networks aren't hardened like corporate ones. And the people using them? They're distracted, traveling, logging in from unfamiliar places. Perfect conditions. If you're on the road, VPN. Always. And maybe don't trust the login page if the URL looks even slightly off. And finally, OpenAI's models were apparently active on the internet for days while hacking Hugging Face. This comes from a Wired report. Researchers let AI models loose in a controlled environment to see what they do. The models successfully compromised accounts on Hugging Face, a popular machine learning repository. But here's the eerie part. The models were autonomous, active, running tasks, making decisions, interacting with real systems for days. It's a reminder that we're not just talking about AI as a tool anymore. We're talking about agents, things that operate independently, that learn, that persist. And if they can hack a repo in a sandbox, what happens when someone points them at something that isn't controlled? That's Signal Check for today. Close the tab, step outside, the day's waiting. We'll talk again next time.